don't use my normal name, I paint under the name of Bael. It's an anagram of my name. Since I was a child, all I ever wanted to do was paint. Never really considered another option in life. Might prove to be a bad idea, but it's always stuck with me. It's what I've always done. I guess in terms of the first people that have inspired me to paint is probably my dad. He was really good at just anything you could put a picture in front of him and he could just imitate it with a pen, anything. I just sit and watch him and just soak up how he did it. And it never seemed that you couldn't paint or draw it. He did it so easily that I just assumed that I could as well. I was a bit broke, I lived at home, I was unemployed, and I wanted to do a painting so I could sell it. And I got about halfway through, and it was all pink and lovely, and it was looking really nice, and I don't know, I just felt really sad at what I created. It just such a sellout, it was just so bad. So I got my palette knife and got my paint and I got my pastels and I just started destroying the image. I just started carving it up and sort of smearing paint over and just getting rid of the original image. And started to daub into the paint and scratch at it and pull it away and mix the paints up and make it not ugly, but it was almost like an act of destruction really. And about an hour later I sort of stood back and looked at the painting and it was unusual. It didn't look like anything I'd ever done before. It didn't look like anything anyone else had done. And it was one of my first paintings called Court that I did in 2006. I always wanted to make artwork that had a kind of life to it. Not so much that it looked realistic, but it had an energy of that it was alive or that it had an inner life. So hopefully that works. I always want to draw and paint people. I never want to draw still lives. I never want to do landscapes. I always thought when you look at an image, the easiest thing to connect to is a human being. So it just made sense to paint people and to draw people. The only thing I can say, people always ask me, is it you? Or they sell portraits, and I guess in a weird way they kind of are, but they're not. I don't think they look like me, probably. Have no hair and long necks and things like that, some characteristics of me, but I always try and think of them as an entity in themselves, and almost like they exist in their own little world in a strange way. I'm not afraid of having work that's emotional. I don't want people to look at my work and not understand it. I want them to look at it and not have to have it explained to them. They feel it and they get it. So if I succeed, I hope that's what happens. I always have to use myself as reference material. I don't think I feel comfortable asking people to do these kind of poses and be in this way. And in a way, I don't want to paint someone else and do that to them, make them feel that way. I mean, for me, I call it the first strike. I don't know if other artists do it, but it has to be in the first go, it has to be in the first attempt, otherwise I don't think it has the same energy. I think the reason why I've joined Pelime is because the way things happen is through connections, and the more people see you, the more people are interested. The more people are interested, the more opportunities you have. And it's a progression from there, and that's what I'd like. I'd like people to see my work, and that's kind of my ultimate aim.